we're back in the garden for some clearing. There's obviously a lot more to do in this garden, but one of the main things that we can see from the house is this behind me. This is actually the pond area, which I'll show you as I go around the side. You can actually see where the pond is. But on this side of the garden, there is this wall of brambles. I think our plan is to just kind of get control of this area again. Whether or not we get all the way through into the pond at this point, I'm not sure, but we're going to do our best effort to at least make a dent in it. It is currently still very hot in the UK at the moment, so we'll be doing little bits per day, and at least this bit is in the shade. We have to be careful with you that you don't overheat, and with every project that we do, this is going to make a lot of mess, so we're going to try and keep on top of that too. There's quite a few blackberries actually growing in there, so we'll collect those and maybe make some gin out of it or something. I don't know how much I'll explain of what we're doing. It'll mainly be just chopping brambles. So I'll quickly show you around to see what we're really working with, and then we'll get chopping. At the side here you can also see there's quite a lot of self-seeded trees that once we clear some of the bramble we'll be able to see which we want to save and which we probably want to pull up. Like this one here is the self-seeded. These are all self-seeded. Look closely in there, that's the pond. And this is the pond in here. The water isn't that high at the moment because it hasn't rained for a long time and it's been incredibly hot in the UK, so I think it's just kind of sludge in there. Over the winter the water does come up to here. It is a fairly big pond. It's very difficult to see on camera, and it's pretty difficult to see in person at the moment, to be honest. But it's a decent sized pond that we would love to save because we would love to get ducks or something in the future that would live in these pens here. So to be able to let them out and have their own little private pond would be lovely. But that's quite a long time away until we get to that point. First need to tackle all of this. There is also bamboo growing here that has broken out of its cage, I guess, which could spread across the entire garden, so we might pull that up at some point. I know that could cause us problems in the future. It's got a whole pump system. We have no idea what any of that is, but a long time ago we think this pond was glorious and well looked after. Right there is the top of the brambles. So this is a full bramble mountain we need to tackle. Bramble red. First casualty of the day.
Rookie error.
I cut my wire.
We're clearly pros.
This is why I have battery hedge trimmers. Every time we do this, I say I need to wear trousers. But do I listen to myself? No. No, I do not. This is the foresty bit of our pond, and the brambles are starting to join up with these trees, so I would like to cut it off just there and hopefully keep some of the overhang from the trees, but obviously get rid of the brambles. Just there is where the brambles end and the trees begin, but the trees are also quite dead and just mainly ivy. We'll see if we can save some of the trees too. Now this is a transformation. As you can see, we have got through the entire mountain of brambles and uncovered a much bigger pond than I ever thought. The pond is obviously still full of gunk, and we probably won't clear that out for a little while, just because we've got so many other projects on the go. We were just focusing on tackling around the pond for now. We've also uncovered a little rockery and waterfall. I don't think any of the electrics or the pumps work, because they've been abandoned for decades, just like the rest of the garden. So we'll have to redo all of that too, once we want to get the pond up and running again. But I'm sure I can make use of that little waterfall too. You can see we've also got quite a lot of bamboo. Thankfully it is all contained for now. Some of it is starting to break through, so we're going to have to be careful to try and keep that contained so it doesn't overtake the entire garden. And we'll have to see whether or not it grows back. But I like having a little bit of a wall there too, to keep some separations and areas throughout the garden. There are, of course, all these brambles that we need to clear too. So, like everything on this channel, this is still the midway point. But I wanted to show you all the progress we're making, and for you to follow along this journey with us. Some point soon we are going to try and dig out all the bramble roots as well, because at the moment it is a bramble forest and bramble trip hazard area everywhere. So we will be doing that fairly soon. But seeing this all uncovered is so exciting for us. We might have mentioned before that we would love to get ducks or chickens in the little coops that are behind there, and I can just imagine letting them out into the garden and having a lovely time in our little pond. But we're still quite a way away from that. So make sure to give this video a like and subscribe so you can follow along our journey of transforming this garden. If you made it this far in the video, you actually get to see a little sneak peek, because we did actually end up hiring a digger for another project that we've got going on at the moment. And we ended up digging up all the big bramble roots and a lot of the self-seeded trees that we can hopefully maintain before we actually get round to doing anything with this area. So all the trip hazards are gone, and hopefully the brambles won't be growing back anytime soon.